The waves were big enough to push you down that hot summer on Venice Beach, but I never imagined that they would also be strong enough to pull you under. I made my way out to California on a last-minute trip to get away. I was a little bit more fearless back in those days, but not in a good way. I'd jog in dangerous parts of town during the worst times of night. I treated life more casually. I had become courageously careless. That never became clearer to me than when I started to wade out into the Pacific Ocean a little further out than anyone else. I wasn't afraid of the waves. They push you down, but I thought you should be able to find your way back to the surface easily. What I didn't know firsthand was that the returning force of those high waves in shallow water had an equally strong effect. Without notice, I found myself pulled under, desperate for air and taking in salt water. Those few seconds were enough to feel 1,000 feelings. I was amazed at the power of the water. I was ashamed and embarrassed over my own recklessness. But the strangest one that filled my heart was fear. I just hadn't felt that one in a while. When my life truly felt close to its edge, I began to recognize its value again. Somehow I was able to get back to the surface. I gasped for air and made my way to the shore as I heard a lifeguard call for people to come in closer. I ignored that same warning only moments earlier. It was a call to the masses, but this time I knew the call was meant for me. It was the voice of a concerned father calling his child back home. The waters can be full of obstacles, and so can our lives. It's easy to move through this world with a courageous carelessness. We wade deeper into spiritual dangers until we find ourselves overtaken by the challenges we thought we had control over. We feel trapped. And the questions we buried about the end of this life and whether we'd be welcomed into the next appear to be the only things finding their way to the surface. Is there a way through these waves? Are there steps that we can take to ensure a fulfilling life in the present and ensure a better one in the next? Many years after Jesus died, his natural brother James became a leading figure in the movement Jesus started. Persecutions and trials caused a band of Jewish Christians under his care to flee all over. But spiritual challenges followed them to their new homes. James, like a loving father, picked up his pen and wrote some directions to help them chart a course between waves. Join us as we reflect on this beautiful letter and in turn find our own way through some of those spiritual challenges that we still face today.